Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ScrapMan, bringing you another episode of Satisfactory, and we're back at our factory. The last episode, we did a whole bunch of exploring. This episode, we're gonna do a whole bunch of progress, building, organizing. I'm gonna take a new policy to building, and rather than trying to go for perfection, which after seeing a lot of feedback in the comments, you guys experience some similar frustrations where you want everything to be perfect, but then it just doesn't turn out that way. So I'm gonna go with the no regrets kind of approach, where I'm just gonna look at the end goal that I'm currently striving for and just shoot for that, and however we get there is good enough, and I'm just no regrets. Which I might be eating those words later, as I will probably regret poor decision making because I'm just gonna do it. But we'll find out. So to sum up currently what we got going on here, the first floor is no longer in production because I moved that iron source up to the third floor, which is producing rods and wire from iron. And then we also have the second floor, which is producing rods and plates from iron. And thanks to our Mark III conveyors, we are feeding iron faster than these smelters. 6 smelters per floor can even smelt them, which is not great for efficiency, but it's better to be producing more iron than you're using than using more iron than you're producing, because that at least means that your smelters are doing as much as they can rather than not getting as much as they can. So what I'm trying to think towards is I kind of eventually want to get rid of everything that's going on in here and have it happen over here, and I kind of almost have that right now, because all that's going on in here is all of the basic materials. Oh, we have a limestone node right there too. I forgot about that. What we're missing over here to replace all of this are screws and cable, and I'm pretty sure that's it. So what I think I might do is reroute this copper node to actually go down to the bottom floor and have the bottom floor just be copper, which is only producing wire and cable. So we can have all of that just kind of streamlined into one floor, the wire and the cable. And then I can change this wire to be more plates, so we can have 2 floors of rods and plates. And then one of those floors can reroute the rods into screws. Then we can worry about steel, because we will have all of the necessary base materials being crafted here. I think that sounds like a good game plan. So let's start with our copper, and hopefully we can work our way up to steel relatively soon. Not to mention that we already do have steel being produced on a very, very basic scale over there. Oh, but I actually forgot, before we even get to steel, we need to do reinforced plates and rotors, and we need to do the assembler line, basically. We have an assembler going on over there based off of some of those nodes, and that's a little bit more complex. But we'll worry about that when we get our basic parts down first. Okay, so first things first, we have to delete this entire floor. Oh, we're gonna have so much excess material. Oh, man. We still have iron ingots being routed through here. Are you kidding me right now? We still have so many iron ingots. Oh, this is gonna be tough to manage. This is gonna be really tough to manage. And all these iron ingots are producing more wire, and all of these are filled to the brim with all kinds of stuff. So, where we're gonna put all that excess, I don't know yet. But, we can delete all the in-between stuff first, and then worry about it. I'm gonna actually create myself a makeshift storage here, because we are gonna need a place to just drop off a bunch of stuff. All right, so I'm just gonna store everything I have in my inventory in these containers right now, because I'm just gonna dismantle a whole bunch of stuff. Here we go. Okay, the floor is cleared, and this is what's in my inventory right now. This is essentially everything that was all made of, except for the fact that we have literally thousands and thousands of iron ingots just sitting here on the floor, and all of the storage of thousands and thousands of wire. We got just full of rods and plates, and we're gonna have to figure out how to reroute this somewhere. But that's gonna be for another time. We'll just keep them there for now, and we'll figure out what to do with those later. So now I want to replicate the top 2 floors on the bottom here and turn this into a wire factory, a smelting, constructing factory just for copper-based things. And since I think wire is the only copper-based first step that we have, yeah, copper ingots go into wire, and I think copper ingots don't go into anything outside of that in my current knowledge. So we could just have 6 smelters taking in from that node, all iron ingots going into wire, and then we can have some of that go into storage and some of that go towards cables. So let's start trying to build this, replicate our design that we did up here down there. Okay, so I think we've done pretty well on the first floor so far. We put it into the holding storage area right now before we get exported into the bigger storage area, which would be right in front of it. And so I figured before we worry about mapping out the bigger storage area, let's get some production started since we can already start exporting into one storage container. So all we got to do is, actually, we could probably upgrade that miner to a Mark II and increase our copper output drastically. But the main thing is we have to reroute this. We have to reroute this into where do we have to go? It might be better to reverse route this. Instead of going from there to here, let's go from here to there. So we need to route it into here, and then it's going to get split off. So we could probably go from the underside. I'm going to do Mark III conveyors going into it, if I even have enough. I don't know if I have enough. Oh, I need to get steel beam on me. So yeah, I'll try to build Mark III conveyors all the way from there to here, which I should be able to since I've had beams just going in the background over here on a single foundry or whatever you call them. So let's go check in on our steel production and see how we're doing on beams over here. Pretty good. I could definitely get behind that. All right, so I got 3. I'm just gonna get a little bit extra because I don't know how much it actually costs to go that distance. Let's go from there to here, and then we're just gonna go from here and try to work our way through. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if vehicles collide with belts, but this is going to be an issue if it is. So we have to actually make an elevated belt going all the way down there. So that puts a damper, that puts a little bit of a damper in things. I really wish, I don't know if there's a way, but I really wish that I could adjust this conveyor pole. I can adjust the conveyor pole when I place it like this, but I really wish I could just adjust the conveyor pole as I'm placing down the conveyor belt. But I don't think that there's a way to do that. If there is, let me know. I'm not seeing anything in the controls, unfortunately. All right, so I'm just going to put a whole series of conveyor poles down here, I guess. And we'll just try to make sure that they're out of the way of the routes. All right, there we go. This is working now, and hopefully we can just kind of go directly from here to the miner. But let's first replace this with a Mark II miner. Oh, here comes the truck. Let's see if it gets stuck. Are you gonna get stuck on any of these poles? Nope, he's going right underneath, just as planned, and on the way back looks fine. All right, we got this. All right, so now we can put down our Mark II miner. We're gonna face it right in that direction. Get our Mark III conveyor belts out. And we will route directly to there. And look at that, perfect distance. And now where's the power? Where's our power? There was a power pole somewhere routing to this. I didn't check out where the power pole was. Oh no, where were we routing power from? There we go. Is it working? It should be running. All right, it should be producing 120 per minute? Yeah, that's right. And this is just a normal node. All right, there we go. Producing 120 per minute. We can overclock this if we need to. So Mark III is actually excessive, but we'll just keep it there anyway, just in case we want to make any overclocking on this. All right, so let's go ahead and ride this thing back and check on the progress. Wait, so I'm confused then. How are we doing? Did we overclock the miners over here for the iron? Because these ones are producing much, much quicker at Mark III. So I'm actually a little bit, I don't remember overclocking these, but I must have. I just got to go double check. All right, because this is going at 90. So this is overclocked Mark I. And what about this one over here? This one's at a standstill. Why is it at a standstill? This is overclocked Mark II. Oh, okay. Here we go at 180. Overclocked Mark II. Maybe I should make this one a Mark II as well. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to build a craft bench right here, and we're going to make another Mark II. All right, there we go. Got another Mark II miner here. We'll put this back on its normal feed route, and this is producing 120. It was producing 90. So let's just keep it at that for now. We got this power shard here. So this power shard here is going to go into our copper one. And the funny thing is our old copper constructor area is still going to be going for a while. What is it doing, though? It's producing... Okay, it's just producing excess going through here and going out, and I don't really know where it's going in the end. Yeah, it just keeps going. Oh, yeah, it's actually going into our storage. Okay, so that's good. We can still just keep that going until we run out of our excess copper. All right, I like that. So let's go ahead and overclock this thing, and then we got to worry about cable. All right, there we go. We got the overclocking happening. Now it's at 180 per minute. Look at that, looking much better here. Let's go ahead and write it down and check out its input into our system that we made. Make sure everything's actually working as intended. Okay, so it comes up here, then it gets split, and then it goes into these areas. Wait, so if it is at 180, let's do some math here. 180 down to 90, down to 30, 30, and 30, correct? So that means this should be receiving 30, which should put this at 100% efficiency then. Yeah, so you can see it receives one, and then it exports one. So 4, 3... 4, 3. Yeah, okay, we're good, we're good. Okay, so then the ingots are being smelted into wire, so now we should have 6 lines of wire all going. Yep, there we go. All going into some storage here. So now we have to replicate our end game storage that we have on the top level down here. All right, and it looks like we've done it. We can see all that wire feeding in, and you know what? I'm actually going to change these ones to Mark II. So that way they can feed in at a bit of a smoother rate. There we go. All right, so it's not 100% efficient, but I'm not worried too much about maximizing efficiency at this point, to be honest. Again, we're going with no regrets. We're just gonna get to the end product that we're looking for. We wanted wire. We got tons of wire coming in. So now what's interesting is we need to route this wire then into some cable. Now, the way I set up this storage is we have multiple options going on here. We can route out from this storage, we can route out from this storage, and we could also route out from here. So we have 3 routing options that are independent from each other for each of these sets of storage. This gives us a lot of options on where to micromanage the destination of this wire and everything above us. So what I do eventually want to have is something similar to what I'm doing over here, where I just have mass storage end locations where any excess is just going to be fed into a massive amount of storage units just for the single material, and just have like sections for single materials, which this will allow me to do with the way I have the storage routed. Is like I can partially route it out to just storage, partially route it out to further production lines. Why don't we see what it takes to make cable, and then determine how we want to route this out using that information. All right, so I'm just going to put a constructor down just for kicks, and we're going to look at if we want it to make cable. It can take in 30 wire per minute. So what I'm going to do then is put the output that is going into all these storages at Mark II. So this is outputting 120 per minute, which means that's 60 and that's 60. But if I route it into a third option, it would be 40, 40, 40. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 4 constructors for cable. I'm really confused about this. This is a whole layer that we haven't mapped out yet. So I'm just going to see what we're going to do, because what I want to do is keep some to just for storage, so we have some excess going on. But I also want some for the cable constructors as well. So I'm going to put a constructor there and one in front of that one, so we can lead directly into if we need to. And then, can we fit 2 in between here? 1 there. Oh, perfect. That is perfect. Because you know what we can do with this? Check this out. Here, we're going to go ahead and make cable on all of these. And then using our standard conveyor belts, so we can have one split directly from there. This one can go directly from there, and then directly from there. Check that out. So then that leaves us with this storage that is just going to build up here. And then on the other end, there's storage that can build up there. So we're on the sides just building up storage, which could then be passed out into an end game storage. I think that could work. So now we need to provide power to these things and then build another storage system that these are all going to merge into, which to me means that we're going to have to put a direct storage unit in front of these just so any excess cable will build up here, and then we can route that to later storage, bigger and bulkier storage. All right, but first things first, we need power. All right, so now we have 4 constructors worth of cable going now. Okay, so now we have the issue of all of this stuff, which is kind of in the way, but not really, because we have enough room. Sort of. Not really. We don't have enough room. So we do have an issue with this stuff right now. So we can't store a huge amount of cable right now. We can store this much worth, and if I wanted to temporarily, I could put just another one directly in front of this. But I don't think we're going to need that much cable, to be honest, and we have more producing over there. So I think we're doing okay with cable, and this just gave me an idea. Because right now we have rods and plates, and then we have cable and rods. And we don't need cable anymore. So what if we have plates and plates, rods and rods, and then what that will allow us to do is do the same thing we're doing here with cable, with wire into cable. We can do that with rods into screws up there. So let's totally do that. Oh, which means we're going to have another storage issue because we are full of rods here and full of plates here. So all this excess plates and stuff are going to need to be rerouted to another area. Because I want to switch this whole rods area to plates, and then I want to switch the cable up there to rods. So that's going to be an issue. All right, but you know what? I'm going to say on this top floor, none of this wire matters anymore because we don't need wire storage. What we need is production. Production is what we're interested in right now. All this basic stuff, we have plenty of storage of it elsewhere. So I'm just going to delete these, and we're going to change these pretty much into rods, and then we'll worry about what happens from there. Okay, so these are receiving iron ingots, and we want more iron rods. Oh, this is going to be weird. We're going to have so much excess wire just hanging around here that we're going to really confuse this whole system. All right. Oh, yeah. We're going to have to delete all these storage containers because there's too much wire in them, and we need a clean slate. Get rid of all of this wire. All right. There we go. We got rods ready to be produced. So let's see what we can do with the rerouting here. Oh, no. Is that really going to be in the way? Do we really have to get rid of this? I wish I could just trash this. It's not going to let me build on top of this. Oh, wait. So close. There it is. There it is. Okay, we got it. We got it. We can build on top of these. Okay, so now we got a whole bunch, an entire floor of iron rods going. So now I'm going to do the same thing I did with the wire down below. I'm going to route it into 4 constructors, which are going into screws. And that should take care of every single base material that goes directly from iron and copper. And here we are. Each of these are producing at 90 screws per minute on Mark II conveyor belts. And now, I don't even remember what we did down below. But we need to, ow. But, oh yeah, we need to start routing these out too. Okay, but now, wait a minute. I think we're almost there. We're almost there. All that's left is to change one of the rod things on the second floor to plates. And then we will have a floor completely producing wire, completely producing plates, and completely producing rods. The wire is then routed into cables, and those rods are then routed into screws. But there's also wire storage and rod storage, so we still have those to be able to route out to other areas of production too. This is looking good. So now we got to do this big issue with replacing all of these rod storages with plate storages. All right, here it goes. Changing them all to iron plates, and then we got to just delete and replace all the storage and manage the excess iron rods. Okay, we have done it. An entire floor dedicated to each of the 3 basic parts of rods, plates, and wire, and a system that can export portions of those for cable and screws. What we don't have is actually concrete. Concrete is not being produced automatically in our base. We have it being produced way over there, but not here. Okay, so I'm realizing that I think we actually have 3 iron nodes here that are not being used in this factory. Because we have copper going in the bottom floor. Into the second floor, we have this truck station feeding iron. The truck is just getting the iron. And then on this top floor for rods, we have a single iron node from here. So we still have 3 iron nodes over here that could be rerouted into other aspects of production in this factory. So I think up next are assemblers. What can we make with assemblers? Okay, so here's where the no regrets, I really have to commit to the no regrets because everything that we've built up there is gonna come down to some assemblers right now. And how it's gonna work, I don't know yet. But there's a lot of things we need for assemblers. Okay, so reinforced iron plates. We need screws and iron plates. Rotors. We need screws and rods. Okay. It's okay, ScrapMan. No regrets. Modular frame. We need reinforced iron plates. Holy cow. And rods. Encased industrial beam. We need steel beams and concrete. Stator. We need pipes and wire. Motor. We need these things. All right. This is where things definitely do get a little bit more difficult. So I feel like the two basic ones are plates and rotors because these require the base resources only. Everything else requires something extra, like the steel beams and the reinforced plates and the pipes. Okay, and good news is this whole area, all of these smelters and constructors producing all these things could be expanded in this direction towards me if I ever need to increase production on those floors. Yeah, those floor... Oh, not infinitely, though. But you know what? It's okay. I think we're going to do okay. Okay, but what we have here is a great start. From a whole floor of wire being produced in the cable to a whole floor of plates to a whole floor of rods being produced into screws. I think we've finally gone from chaos, like what we had over there, to order. And now it's just a matter of getting an assembly factory going for reinforced iron plates, rotors, motors. So let me know if you have any advice for that tier of production. I think that is what we're going to do in the next episode is assemblers and see what we can pull off as far as organization goes. Remember, no longer going for perfection. No regrets. I don't regret this. I'm actually pretty happy with this. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.